Hit that like button, share and subscribe. And remember, eagles fly with eagles. This is Black Titanic. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. And remember, the eagles, right? When there's a storm, they do not shy away from the storm. In fact, what they do is ride the current of the storm. So any going back to the Black Past, Black American History Spotlight, 1878 to 1965, Richard Spice. He invented a lot of things, y'all, but he's well known for anytime you jump into your car. Remember him. Here's some of the things that he invented, you guys. April 1907, while living in Bismarck, Arizona, Spice patented a beer taper. You know when you pop that beer, the little tabs off of that beer? Well, he invented that, y'all. Connected to a keg. The tap used tubing to ease the release of beer from the barrel. It also made it fresh. Spike Nest's invention was a self-locking rack for billiard cubes. He received a patent on that. So let's keep it going. Over the next 40 years, Spike would patent at least 7 more items, including a brake testing machine in 1921. A pantograph for conveying electrical current to trolley wires in 1923. This man was brilliant. A combination milk bottle openers. Y'all know those old-fashioned openers? I remember those. And covers in 1922. Temperature of tank liquids for automobile industry in 1921. The barber chairs, the swinging barber chairs. Y'all know how the barber chairs can go around in a circle. He did that. And finally, an automobile brake safety system in 1962. So whenever you put on your brakes, think about Mr. Spikes. Now, check this out, y'all. Of all this innovation, the best known are those related to automobile technology. Spike gear shifting device. The automatic gear shifting. I never knew that, you guys. Every time you get in your car, you shift that gears. Think about this black man, Mr. Spikes. His aim to keep the gears from various speed and constant mess. Enhancing the turn of the century invention of automatic transmission. Yo, his automatic brake safety system was also significant. According to the patent application, it provided a reservoir braking action in case of damage to the normal braking means, and is still used in some buses as a safety thing. But he also is credited for the automobile signal system, the turn signal, you guys. So this man, when you turn in that signal, when you put on the turn signal, think about the black excellence. When you put your feet on the brakes, think about black excellence. When you shift them gears, think about black excellence. Mr. Spikes. This coming from Urban Bell, Married to Medicine. Cast reacts to being called trash by Phaedra Park. So, as y'all can see, Phaedra departed Married to Medicine after Apollo and his estranged wife attended the couple's trip. Dr. Heavenly invited Apollo. She's so messy. He original took Shireen Combs. She wasn't supposed to come, y'all. But when Apollo and Shireen showed up and confronted Phaedra about bringing check, it's a date. Why? Phaedra realized it was time for her to leave the show. Shireen and Phaedra do not have a good relationship, according to Phaedra. Shireen was allegedly Apollo's mistress while she was pregnant with her youngest son. Phaedra had a lot to say about the OGs during her green screen interview. In her opinion, the ladies are nothing more than mean girls. She said they have a horrible track record with newbies over the years. This perspective isn't necessarily unique to Phaedra. Former Married to Medicine housewife cast Audrey Curry said newbies are set up to fail. And y'all know that Phaedra, let me see, I want to get this right here now. I don't hear nothing about nothing. Let me see what I get something from the fans down here. Some should pop up from the fans. Here go a comment right here. This is Troy. Simone then tried to say that they all make fantastic salaries. You can make bank, have a college degree, still be a dirt bag. Money, degrees, and business sense does not equal common sense, and the entire cast lack common sense. Fucking sense. Phaedra pulled a fast one on those mean ladies of Married to Medicine. They thought that they were going to gang up on her, but she didn't show up. So she did an interview. And she called them trash. Oh, Phaedra!
Have you spoken to her recently?
I did. I asked her to come. She said she wouldn't help this show for
Well, tonight we also have some never-before-seen clips from this season to show you all. Here's a never-before-seen clip from Miss Phaedra Parks.
Oh,
What have you learned from your time with the league?
that they're trash. Oh, so I'm not going to be able to say that I enjoyed anything about this group because I feel like they're demonic minions of hell. They're those bitches. Those mean, angry black women who are mean to other black women because they're fat, they funny looking. You know what I'm saying? They're just jealous and hateful. I don't see a future with these ladies because they don't like me. And I like people who like me. And I don't try to participate in spaces that I'm not welcomed in. So I'm very happy to be leaving. I'm ecstatic.
So you guys, Phaedra, and she felt like she was ambushed with Carlos and his wife. Well, I don't know if they divorced yet, but there's out in the blog that they are getting a divorce. But yeah, so they're gonna go back and forth about Phaedra. Said Phaedra knew that Apollo was coming, but so she's upset over that Apollo came. It really was rough. It was rough, you guys. It didn't turn out too well when Apollo came. You know, everybody got in an argument. Phaedra did, and she said that Apollo till today can't stand for her to be with no man, and he would be looking, and his wife was right there. Every time Phaedra say something, there go his wife running off at the mouth at Phaedra. Well, see, Phaedra had that little young man with him, Shaq, I believe that's his name. But Shaq's supposed to have been a friend to her ex-husband and his wife. I don't know, y'all. Yes. So it's been a lot of drama on there, y'all. A lot of drama. Y'all heard about King. I got to look it up. I got to do my own research about King, the Rolls Royce bandit. Stolen Rolls Royce. So Lex's channel is doing just fine. So she got to talk about, I think it was her first interview, and her mother was guiding her. She gave her a list of bloggers that she wanted her to deal with only, and one of them was True T. Yes. So, and then I was just thinking about when she was sitting at the dinner table, Lexus also said that one of the cameramen or producers said something to Nell in her ear, and that's when Nell started going off on her mother, you guys. And so let's see what the fans say. Fan says, I believe they used and exploited her to get her to film. Yeah, they exploited her. Yeah, we really look at the dynamics of the relationship between the stepmother and the dad. And her dad, there really was none. So this was all for the camera, but not for Alexis. I believe Alexis went there in good faith. But when she saw what was going on, a doorbell rang in her head. She even said that they shouted out her older brother business, but did not shout her business out. So, and then Miss Doreen says that people were right about that interview. Lexus was doing that and was angry. Yeah, of course. She said they're sitting up there talking about her mother, every last one of them at the table. Chris have no backbone. Chris could have shut all that down, right? He could have shut it down before it got too far. No talking about my ex-wife, no talking about my daughter. But they all gained up on Lexus, but Lexus was handling herself very well. And then Doreen also says, I'm not a fan of Nell, but out of her own mouth, Lexus said that Nell raised her when Chris left the family. So if Lex, the husband, said he don't, yeah, so yeah, she seemed, Chris seemed to never be at home. It seems like she was just a single woman with Chris. Chris would never be there. She said that her dad was always gone. But anyway, you guys, this is Alexis, and she's going every week. She was trying to tell us her story. She had a lot of trauma to me. Yeah, I believe that she had a lot of trauma from her childhood. So she really loved it, Nell, as a mother, but Nell would do some mean stuff to this little girl. And what broke my heart is when she would go shopping, buy everybody something, a nice, big, big, big gift, right? And then look at her and tell her, we pay child support for you. And that was so mean spirit. You could have bought her a pack of socks or something so she wouldn't feel so bad. But according to Alexis, that when she was sitting at the table and she got the Nell got to hollering about the 20-some $1,000 in the car, she said they cut that part out when she said, well, that was his child support. The child support that she always, every time she came over, she threw that in her face. Oh, you get child support. She said, buy me a pack of bologna. Now I can't buy you no bologna, no 99-cent bologna. You get child support. Use your child support check. But she didn't say that, y'all. I made that up about the bologna. But on a serious note, he just got through paying off her child support. He wasn't paying child support now. He was tricking you now. That's what he was saying where his money was going out there in the street on his hoes. That's where his money was going. You thought his money was going towards child support, but no, what's in the dark came to life. So and then I was just sitting up at that table. I was just wow, $20,000. Yeah, you gave her $20,000. That's nice, back in the day to get you a nice little used car. you know, because she was saying, Lexus was saying that everybody got a car except for her. And she said the reason she was saying that because she said they were playing up to the camera because, you know, she said, well, why didn't I get a car? She wanted to let everybody know that she was treated differently. Another thing Alexis said was about that niece up there. I don't know what happened, why she had to raise her, but she's really her mother. She's really Neil's mother, but she said that she got pregnant. Neil kicked her out the house, right? Because she got pregnant. And so afterwards, she said somewhere down the line, her mama and her came and visited, and she went off on him, was telling everybody that Lex's mama was overstaging her boundaries at the when she gave the birth to her child. Oh, Lexus said, "Are you kidding me? They had put you out the house. They had disowned you, and me and my mother were the ones, there for you during your darkest hour. Now, how dare you sit up here now and have a completely different opinion now about my mother?" Another thing she said that they had got to where I thought this was strange. Mom couldn't come on the inside. And she said when they came down there, I guess they say somewhere in Tennessee, I don't know. But when they come down that way, they are welcome into her mama's home. So she didn't understand where that was coming from. Well, Alexa can come in, but your mama can't. Oh Lord Jesus, do I hear some jealousy? Do you? Oh my God. So Angie just couldn't get a break. You guys know she was a writer and she's a musician. I didn't know she played saxophone. I did not know that she often was Prince backup singer. And that's another suspicion death right there is Prince. But D'Angelo, D'Angelo was her love. He loved her, but people would make him feel ashamed because they say that Angela was not pretty enough, and oftentimes Angela, she said Clyde David would not let her go on stage because he felt like she was too fat. Bull. But anyway, she says, well, y'all didn't think I was fat when I was writing all this music for you guys, right? Well, when I was writing all this music, getting all these hits coming in, I wasn't too old or too fat then, talking about with D'Angelo. But D'Angelo did her wrong as well. As you can see, Mary J. Blige. It was a lie came out that Angie did something wrong, got this little boy right here on drugs, y'all. So that put a big old rift in their relationship. Of course, you know she got a son by D'Angelo. But here's the kid, Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige did her wrong. Wow, fans are saying, I used to like Mary J. Blige until I heard how she did Angie Stone, you guys. And guess what she did to her? Well, the music industry has to do that. The music industry picked Angela to Angie to train Mary J. Blige. Now, of course, you know she had a voice, but she still needs some kind of stage presence. So now they have some kind of beef. They said most people say they lost respect of Mary J. Blige for how she treated Angie Stone. What did she do? She would steal her music. She would take her music and pretend like it was hers and would not honor her or give anything. And Angie said one thing that hurt her was when they took her music and kept her voice in the background while Mary J was singing, and Mary J has went on with the song. And some of them songs, she said that D'Angelo wrote, yeah, some of the songs D'Angelo wrote too. So this is what's going on with Angie. Angie has been treated so wrong in this industry. It broke my heart when she told me she was 3 months pregnant. Not told me, but she told the audience she was 3 months pregnant by D'Angelo, right? And they grabbed, just before the event started, they were honoring D'Angelo to get some awards. Just before the event started, they pushed her to the side, put Vivica A. Fox on his arm as the guest. It's nothing wrong with her. This young lady right here is so beautiful. But anyway, y'all, Mary J. Blige has stole a lot of her thing. And don't forget, y'all, she had Alicia Keys too. She had a hand in helping Alicia Keys out, yeah. So now people are saying they're no longer going to be a Mary J. fan. Her character is awful. Yeah, so what does she do? Mary J., y'all believe anything. Mary's career had nothing to do with Angie Stone. They telling you, yes it did. Angie was there. Clyde David brought her in there. Today, we'll be looking at the Second Amendment means the right to bear arms. Why is it that Black people frown upon when they try to exercise the Second Amendment rights, which is have guns to protect themselves? Anyway, Lincoln Heights, Ohio resident formed community patrol group because of neo-Nazi, the KKK, white supremacists showed up, in groves in their community. Yeah, so, oh boy. So what you're looking at is, why is it that African Americans, Black people in general, all over the world, looked upon differently when they're supposed to have guns to protect their family? When I say supposed to, each family should own some kind of way to protect their family. It's called the Second Amendment right, the rights to bear arms. But this Lincoln Heights, Ohio residents from Community Patrol Group, they formed it because a group of neo-Nazi, a group of KKK showed up, hundreds of them, y'all, in their community. What was they there for? This is no longer the 50s, the 40s, the 1800s, where, it used to be illegal for Black people to bear arms. That's why they were able to come in our community and do what they want to do with us in our community. But just look at what's happening right now. I can't believe this, you guys. I can't believe that here we are still fighting for our rights, the right to bear arms. And right there in Ohio is where, in fact, leader, he started a militia, you guys, which I was not a part of it, but I covered the story. I ran into these militia group while I was on my journalistic journey, civil rights journey. Anyway, you guys, let's listen at the resident of Lincoln Heights and why they formed a community patrol group.
Members of the Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program.
It's a duty. Okay, let's go.
The duty, protecting their neighborhood, the majority Black village of Lincoln Heights, Ohio. After neo-Nazis held a rally here last month, carrying rifles, waving swastikas, and hurling racial slurs, just moments before children were let out of school. At the time, law enforcement officials said the neo-Nazis did not break any laws, but an investigation by county prosecutors is ongoing. Weeks later, the KKK came with these flyers.
First African-American community above the Mason-Dixon line of sight.
Safety and Watch Group spokesperson Durance Daniels says the police did not do enough, which was more chilling because the town was founded in the 1920s as a safe haven for Black residents.
Lincoln Heights is our home. If somebody broke into your home, you call the police, and the police says, if they do it again, we're not broken any law, so we're just going to allow them to break into your home again. What would you do?
Are you worried at all that having a potentially armed response could just create more friction, create more danger?
What do this woman want? Oh, why would you? I've never heard them ask any other group, why do they need to protect their families? Woo, here we go.
I'll answer that by saying, I've never felt safer as a Black man in my community than I have right now.
The mayor of Evendale, which oversees the police force that responded that day, said in a statement to NBC News, "Our emphasis on de-escalation and public safety resulted in the incident's resolution without injuries to any of the persons involved." But residents here say they can't afford to wait. Every day, the Safety and Watch group escorts children to school and patrols the streets.
Why do you all wear masks?
Those Nazis, we have reports of them finding our backgrounds, and so we're not hiding ourselves from the residents, but we're protecting our family for what we're doing out here.
While many locals do support the security group, some, like business owner Eric Ruffin, say they wish the group wasn't needed.
We don't want to become what we hate.
Shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving.
We don't want to become a group of people that walk around feeling like we have a reason in America to have to protect ourselves.
And this community...
And you do. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with protecting yourself? And then if you know the history of this country when it comes to our families, man, look at what happened to Emmett Till. Those clear people went in that man's home and took that child, I think like 13 or 14, out of his home. And you say, we don't need to be concerned about protecting our families?
Stand up is not backing down. Morgan Radford, NBC News, Lincoln Heights, Ohio.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
A volunteer firefighter has been arrested, accused of taking a picture of the twins' bodies at the crime scene and then sharing that photo. A hiker found 19-year-olds Kai Deer and Nizir Lewis on Bell Mountain in Towns County on March 8th. It's 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville. The GBI initially called it a murder-suicide, but the family believes something more sinister happened. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn first reported the family's concerns Friday and spoke with them again after this latest disturbing development.
Oh my goodness. It's scary. I'm like literally scared to actually go on social media. I'm scared to pick up my phone. I'm like, because if I see that picture, I already know that I might have a heart attack.
Imagine if their mother see that, like, that would really destroy her. She's already going through a lot.
This is how the family of Kaidira and Nizir Lewis want to remember the twins. However, now worried knowing crime scene photos showing the 19-year-old's bodies with a gunshot wound have been shared outside of law enforcement.
It's very disrespectful to this family. I feel like our privacy was invaded.
The volunteer firefighter accused of taking the picture, charged and arrested. As for how the twins ended up on Bell Mountain on March 8th, their aunt and uncle can't make sense of it. The twins missed their flight to Boston on Friday morning, March 7th.
Then next thing you know, we hear the news about them found in the mountains. We're still confused. I'm like, what? The twins? Mountains? This doesn't make sense.
We didn't believe that was even them.
And then Bell Mountains, I'm like, no one even, we never heard of before. And I know the twins never been there before. They never heard of it before. I'm like, that was super strange. Yes. Like, that doesn't make sense.
The GBI initially calling the case a possible murder-suicide. The family adamant that can't be the case.
Doesn't make any sense.
This absolutely just like out of character.
Yes.
Their bodies found 90 miles from their home in Lawrenceville.
They don't even like driving the distance.
They don't. Because they don't like to pay for gas.
Described as extremely protective of one another.
Every time you see them, they're like together all the time. All the time.
And there's probably nothing in your head you could imagine a gap between them that would lead to a murder-suicide.
No.
If they had a problem that severe, we would know. The family would know.
Cody Alcorn, 11 Alive News.
The attorney for Towns County told us there are no cameras on Bell Mountain. He also said the area is not staffed. The gates to Bell Mountain open at 8 a.m. They close at sundown. The Twins family says their car was found inside the gates in the park.